Are we up? I think we're up. Want to make sure. There we go. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my reactions of day one of the NFL draft. Boy, what a interesting draft night. I decided not to go live for this year's draft on round one. I went to a draft party, hung out with some guys. Wow, wow. I could not expect a lot of these picks that happens, but let's break down all these picks that did happen. As you can see, I lost my voice a little bit. It is a little late, but number one overall, I actually had CJ Stroud going as my number one overall. Let me actually see if I can do this. Can I? Am I able to? Let me see here. I have my mock draft down here, so I can actually see what I actually had going on and compare it to what actually happens. So, number one overall, Bryce Young did go to the Panthers. I thought CJ Stroud would go, but I'm not really surprised at all that Bryce Young did go. If I would have done it over again, I think I probably would have had Bryce Young go number one. But I just really felt in my gut CJ Stroud was going to be the guy. I thought that, he fit their scheme a little bit better. I think he's, I just think he has a better overall floor than Bryce Young. And it's not a bad thing. Bryce Young's still a good quarterback. He's going to do good in Carolina. He's got a good, pretty good group of receivers to throw to. Adam Thielen, DJ Shark. And I'm sure they're going to add another wide receiver in day two of the NFL draft. But overall, I think they did a really good job at number one overall. Number two overall with the Houston Texans, they did grab CJ Stroud. That's a shocker. There was a lot of rumors that they would not take a quarterback at 2, and they ended up taking one. CJ Stroud definitely is not bad. He's definitely not a bad pick. I actually want to see if I can get all of the NFL draft trades. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Deal, draft, deal, trade. So we can see. Cool. That's what I was looking for. So, they did grab CJ Stroud number 2. And at number 3, the Texans trade back up to number 3 overall. The Texans sent their number 12, number 33, and a future first and a future third round pick to go back to number 3. And they grab Will Anderson Jr. So not only did they get the second best quarterback in this class, they got the best pass rusher for D'Amico Ryans. And again, all the rumors before the draft was that they would not take CJ Stroud. Instead, they would settle, take Will Anderson at number 2, and look to the future for their quarterback. But they said, you know what? Let's get them both. Let's get both blue chip prospects. Why even worry about it? And that's what they did. They traded with the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals get more draft picks. The Texans, they did have to give up a future first round picks, which was a little bit risky. But I like the Will Anderson pick on top of the CJ Stroud pick. Then at number 4 overall, the Indianapolis Colts do grab Anthony Richardson. I was a little worried that Will Levis might go at 4, but overall, the better prospect did win. I believe it was one of the picks I got right. No, I had the Colts trading up 1 pick. But, I did have the Colts taking Anthony Richardson. I think he's a great scheme fit. My only worry is that they're going to try and start him a year early. I think he really does need a year to develop, sit behind a guy, and really, learn to play, learn how to be an NFL quarterback. And I think they're going to push him to start, which is going to really not work out. But I'm not going to be shocked if it does. He is a special prospect. I like Anthony Richardson at 4 overall. Then, a real shocker in my opinion, the Seattle Seahawks took Devin Witherspoon at 5. This was honestly one of the bigger shocks because the Seattle Seahawks do not take secondary members in the first round. They don't. They always take really weird prospects in the first round and always make up for it in later rounds. But Tariq Woolen, Devin Witherspoon, and Kobe Bryant is a really solid 3-man group at corner. Devin Witherspoon is the best man corner in this class. He was not my overall number 1 corner, but I understand why they did it. Devin Witherspoon is definitely a good prospect, and I think Seattle, they know how to look for their corners. They always have really good cornerbacks. I think Devin Witherspoon is just going to add on to that stigma for them. This is actually one of my prouder picks. So at number 6, the Detroit Lions do trade back with the Arizona Cardinals. And the Cardinals, they give up number 6, number 81 for number 12, number 34, and 168. So they trade back trade up, and they get a 158 overall. So now they'll have 2 second-round picks coming into the next day of the draft. Cardinals, I know it's gonna happen. There's a lot of smoke that Kyler Murray told the front office, "Hey, stop drafting defense. Get me an offensive lineman. I need help. Get me Paris Johnson Jr." They said, "You know what, Kyler? The last 2 years, you wanted Evan Neal, you wanted Andrew Thomas, you wanted Tristan Wirfs. We'll get your tackle because you have a really good eye for tackles somehow. We'll get to the tackle that you want. We'll grab Paris Johnson Jr. Great franchise left tackle." That just tells me that their left tackle is a DJ. What are the Cardinals? What's their left tackle? It's DJ something. Is it ARZ? Is that what they do? Yep. DJ Humphries. Yeah, DJ Humphries. Paris Johnson Jr. is not playing left guard. He is playing left tackle. They'll probably move DJ Humphries to right tackle. But Paris Johnson Jr. getting drafted is going to be their starting left tackle for the future, which is awesome. He gets his franchise tackle that can help protect him. Probably going to move DJ Humphries over to right tackle. But I think it'd be a great pick for them. Great job by the new GM. I don't know his name. The new GM of the Arizona Cardinals grab a franchise left tackle. That's great for Kyler Murray. Then, a little bit of a shocker, but I understand why they did it. Las Vegas Raiders do grab Tyree Wilson. They need more help at pass rush, so I completely understand why. Max Crosby's by himself, basically. Chandler Jones is like a shell of himself. So I understand 100% why they did it. Just a little bit of a shocker, in my opinion. But great, again, he's a great prospect. Max Crosby finally has a running mate. Then at number 8, Bijan Robinson. This is a little bit of a shocker. I understand why they did it. They like Arthur Smith's scheme calls for a bell cow running back. Excuse me. So I completely understand why he did it. He needs his Derrick Henry for this offense, and they probably don't feel confident about Tyler Algier. So they said, you know what? Let's just grab, honestly, a top 3 talent overall, regardless of position, guy in Bijan Robinson. Let's get him, be our franchise running back for the next 5-6 years. I've been saying Bijan's going to come in day one and lead the league in usage rate. Whether it's receiving, rushing, he's going to do what Najee Harris did in 2020. He's going to come in, lead the league in usage rate his first year, and then hopefully doesn't fall off after that like Najee. But I do believe in Bijan Robinson. I think he's going to be a really good running back for the future. Number 9 overall, of course, they get Jalen Carter. The Philadelphia Eagles get Jalen Carter. They continue to build that. Later on, they add as well. The Eagles get both Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith later on. They're rebuilding that Georgia defense. They have Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, and Nakobe Dean. What is going on? Why is the NFL just allowing this? They're going to have a stacked defensive line, a really good Nakobe Dean pass rushing linebacker who's going to get to play a lot this year because they let a lot of guys walk. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have another great defense. They're going to be top 5 defense, top 5 offense, probably going to win the NFC yet again. And the NFL is just letting it happen. Congratulations to Jalen Carter on getting to be with his teammates that he loves. I think it's awesome that he does get to go with his guys. Hopefully the off-field problems don't happen again, and he can just focus on his football career because he's an outstanding football player. Then one of the most shocking picks of the night, Darnell Wright. I would not have no, I'm sorry. Again, I know the Chicago Bears don't like their short-armed left tackles. But come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be kidding me. Darnell Wright had no business going above Broderick Jones, going above even Anton Harrison. He didn't have any business being a top 10 pick. Gets picked at number 10. Honestly, it's a shocker. That's a shocking top 10 pick. Probably the worst top 10 pick this year. And, maybe it works out. Maybe it doesn't. But in my opinion, no way it works out. I don't like Darnell Wright. Don't think he's a first-round prospect. But they wanted to get their left tackle. They don't like short-armed left tackles like the Tennessee Titans do with Peter Skoronski. Whatever. Speaking of Peter Skoronski, does go to the Tennessee Titans. I don't know if they can move him into left guard. Let me see what Tennessee's offensive line is looking like. They obviously cut Taylor Lewan, but like it says, it signs Andre Dillard. Left guard is looking for some help. They don't really want to start Daniel Brunskill. So I can definitely see Peter Skoronsky moving into left guard for them. But I don't know if he wants to play left guard. Maybe they drafted him to be their left tackle, and Andre Dillard's going to have to sit yet again. But honestly, I probably would move him into left guard, have him start. You get, your starter at number 11. Then you have Andre Dillard, Peter Skoronsky, Aaron Brewer, Dylan Radunes, Nicholas Petit-Frere. That's a solid offensive line. That is a solid starting offensive line for a team that needs to run the ball and needs to be better this upcoming season. Then, oh boy, number 12, Jahmyr Gibbs. So, the party I went to had 3 Lions fans, a Packers fan, a Vikings fan, and honestly, a Browns fan. So, I was sitting there enjoying the NFC North talk. When I tell you that Jahmyr Gibbs, when he got drafted, the anger in that room was like 1,000,000%. I mean, I'm with them. Jahmyr Gibbs, how was he a first-round pick? And how was he the number 12 overall pick? Insanity. You signed David Montgomery to be your Jamal Williams replacement. You still have DeAndre Swift on roster. And then they draft a guy who shouldn't have been drafted at 12. I mean, guys like Lucas Van Ness, Will McDonald, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, Deonte Banks. Like, there's so many players, in my opinion, that should have gone above Jahmyr Gibbs. It's insanity to me. Like, I don't know what they were thinking, why they went at running back at 12. But Jesus Christ, what a bad pick. In my opinion, this might be the worst pick overall in the first rounds. I mean, there's not many that can really top it. No one else really reached like they did at 12. And I know that they just came out and they said, oh, guys, we had them head and shoulders above every other prospect. I don't care. You don't take a Jahmyr Gibbs at number 12 overall. You don't do it. You don't do it. It's a bad pick. Hopefully it works out. Again, if he's a Hall of Famer, I will die on this hill if he's a Hall of Famer. That in the moment, it's a bad pick. So hopefully it works out, but I don't see it working out. I really don't. Then Green Bay Packers grab Lucas Van Ness. That's a really great pick. Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness play a lot of the same roles, and I think that they're trying to find someone opposite of Rashawn Gary. And Preston Smith is a aging veteran. I believe he's like 32 years old, making like $12 million a year. So that's his replacement. Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, hopefully should be a really good pairing. I think it's going to be really good for them to get that kind of guy opposite of Rashawn Gary, and it's more help for your defense. Then at number 14 overall, let me find it. New England trades number 14 to Pittsburgh. They swap 3 picks back. So the Patriots trade 14, so the Steelers can trade up 3 picks to get a first and a fourth to trade back 3 picks. And the Steelers make a really good pick. They grab Roderick Jones to be their franchise left tackle. Now they don't have to start Dan Moore. They don't got to start Dan Moore. Dan Moore and Chuck Okorafor, I don't see starting this upcoming season. Broderick Jones easily is their starting left tackle. He's like 6'8", 330. Really good pass blocker, solid run blocker. And the Pittsburgh Steelers just need more help at offensive line. I think they found their franchise left tackle in Broderick Jones. He is a guy who's head and shoulders above what they currently have on the roster. And I just don't think that was a question that they're like, wait a minute. The Jets might take Broderick Jones. The Commanders might take Broderick Jones. Let's trade up, for sure get our guy, and not even worry about giving up a 4th round pick. Plus, you still have pick 32 in the second round. The very first pick of the second round. Joey Porter is still available. I think that's going to be the first pick of the second round, is Joey Porter to the Steelers. Next, we have the New York Jets grabbing Will McDonald the 4th. Again, you guys know I love Will McDonald. I love him. 15's a little high. I'm not shocked that he went in the first round, but I always had him towards the end of the first round. But I'm happy Will McDonald does get the love to go to the New York Jets. He's gonna do great there. What this tells me is that I want to make sure I get his name right. Is it Carl Lawson? Or is it Shaq Lawson? Carl Lawson. That tells me Carl Lawson's not gonna be there much longer. Carl Lawson cap over the cap. Like, Carl Lawson signed a 3-year, $45 million deal. He's on the last year of his contract, making $15.7 million on the cap. That's his replacement as Will McDonald. They're not really the same player, but I think that's just what they're going to do. And I know Robert Saleh is happy getting another pass rusher for this defense. Next, a little bit of a reach, not too much of a reach, but definitely surprising. Emmanuel Forbes to the Commanders from Mississippi State. Wasn't a first-round corner in my opinion. Gonzalez, Deonte Banks, Joey Porter Jr., and even a guy, I'm trying to think of the other guy. I'm blanking on a lot of people right now. Deonte Banks, Joey Porter. I guess that's it. I didn't see him as a first-round corner. That's it. I just really didn't see him as a first-round corner. Really did surprise me that he went at 16 above Christian Gonzalez. But Christian Gonzalez landed the best spot possible with the New England Patriots. I mean, let's look at their depth chart real quick. New England, they signed back Jonathan Jones on a one-year deal. They have Jack Jones, obviously, and Miles Bryant are both really good. But in my opinion, I mean, Christian Gonzalez is going to start over Jonathan Jones. Just straight up. I think he's a better outside corner. He's better day one. And maybe they sit him for 1 year and have Jonathan Jones play out his contract. But, I mean, that's a franchise corner. He's a good zone corner, good man corner, good at tracking the ball. He's everything that the Patriots love. I'm a little surprised they didn't go wide receiver. I think they need to add another wide receiver for this offense. But I'm really happy they got a franchise corner. And I'm happy for Christian Gonzalez. Then, the Lions' second pick, which I actually really like, is Jack Campbell. I had Jack Campbell going to the Saints later. Jack Campbell's a great pick. He's a great Mike linebacker. He's the kind of guy that can put a green dot on. He can be the quarterback of the defense. And I think the Lions need that. Alex Anzalone, they signed, I think, a 2 or 3 year deal. He's his replacement. Alex Anzalone is not going to be playing on the Lions past another season, maybe 2. And Jack Campbell is going to be the reason. He's going to beat him out immediately. They might start Anzalone because he's been there longer and he's a veteran. But Jack Campbell's going to beat him out in camp day 1. I'm excited for the Lions to get a Jack Campbell type of linebacker. Then, this is another shocker. The Buccaneers grabbing Kalijah Kancey. What that tells me is that, look at this. This is their 3-4 scheme. They have Logan Hall, who they drafted last year. They have Vita Vea. They have Greg Gaines that just signed. Why did you draft Kalijah Kancey? It still makes no sense to me. I mean, you got Vita Vea on a massive contract, which you're going to honor because he's one of the best nose tackles in the league. Logan Hall's solid. Not the best. He's solid. Yeah, you just signed Greg Gaines to be your D tackle. Are you having Kalijah Kancey be your defensive end in a 3-4 scheme? I don't like that. I think Kalijah Kancey is more of that prototypical D tackle. He's the Greg Gaines role. So why'd you sign Greg Gaines? It's just weird to me. Maybe Greg Gaines and Kalijah Kancey can both play, and Kalijah Kancey actually moves over to be the defensive end in the 3-4. I don't know. Maybe it works out, but that's a little bit of a weird pick to me. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are usually pretty solid at drafting, so I'll leave it up to them. I'm sure they know what they're doing. Then a really great pick, in my opinion, is Jackson Smith-Njigba to the Seahawks. Great value at 20 overall. They got Tyler Lockett. They got DK Metcalf. Now they have their big body slot who can run block as well in Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's going to do great in Seattle. I really thought Zay Flowers was going to go to Seattle because he's basically Tyler Lockett 2.0. But they grow a different route. They grab a different receiver that does a different skill than their current receivers. And I completely agree with why they did it. And I love the run on wide receivers that happens. Continued by Quentin Johnston to the Los Angeles Chargers. He's basically Keenan Allen 2.0. He has a lot of the same building blocks that Keenan Allen currently is. He has the building blocks to be a good route runner. He has the building blocks to be an X receiver. He's got the size. He's got the frame. He's got the sideline balance. I really like Quentin Johnston. He was my wide receiver 1. So the Chargers get my wide receiver 1 as a second receiver off the board at pick 21. That's a great value. Then Zay Flowers, my wide receiver 3, going to the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know if that's a great landing spot for him individually, but for the Ravens, it's absolutely great value. Again, at pick 22, grabbing my third best wide receiver. Really solid out of them. I hope that this means that their offense is actually going to be pass heavy this year. Because I worry that's not going to be pass heavy. I understand they have Mike Munchak, I believe is his name. They fired Greg. Oh my gosh, can't remember his name. They fired their old offensive coordinator, hired a new one who is more pass heavy. I think the investment in Zay Flowers is just them showing that investment, and I'm excited to see what Lamar can do with that. Then at number 23 overall, I believe I actually mocked it. I did. I mocked Jordan Addison going to the Vikings. I think that's a great pick. I think it's a great pick. He's the best number 2 receiver in the class. You don't need a wide receiver 1. You got Justin Jefferson. You need that really good big body wide receiver. That's what Jordan Addison is. He doesn't have the upside to be an X receiver, but he's better than a Z receiver. And I just think that with his skill set next to Justin Jefferson, they're going to make electric together. They're going to be electric. He won't have number 1 coverage, but he's going to draw enough coverage away from Justin Jefferson to where he's going to be open up more. Then they still have TJ Hawkinson. They still have Dalvin Cook. That's a good offense. Those rumors, at least in the room I was with, we all thought that maybe Will Levis might end up going at 23, but he ended up not going at all. So that's a little shocking. Then at number 24 was a trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Giants trade up 1 pick to get their guy, Deonte Banks. They trade a first round. Obviously, they trade up 1 spot. They also give up a 5th and a 7th. The Jags trade back, get a 5th and a 7th basically for free. Great for both teams, honestly. The Giants guarantee the guy that they want. Also, they trade up 3 spots. They guarantee the corner that they want because maybe the Cowboys, maybe the Bills take a corner. I absolutely agree with that trade. They grabbed Deonte Banks, a really good zone corner, and they were low on corner, so I think that was a really good pick for them. Then a pick that really did shock me, Dalton Kincaid to the Giants. To the Bills. Why? You currently have, I'm pretty sure you paid Dawson Knox. Did they not pay Dawson Knox last season? I might be mistaken. Dawson Knox over the cap. Yeah, he signed a 4-year, $52 million extension. So instead of drafting a wide receiver, they draft Dalton Kincaid, who's going to take minutes and snaps away from Dawson Knox. Now, maybe they're going to run a lot of 12 personnel. Maybe that's what's going to happen. But I don't know. I don't really like that. That's probably one of the worst picks in the first round. Because I just don't understand the value. I don't understand it. Michael Mayer's still there. So maybe they just want Dalton Kincaid to be a big body slot guy. But look, they have him signed through 2026. They can't cut him for another year. I don't know, man. It's such a weird pick. I understand why they needed more help, but I wouldn't have gone Dalton Kincaid at 25. 26 overall, Dallas Cowboys do go Mozzie Smith. I didn't understand it in the moment. Let me go to Dallas. Dow. Okay. I didn't understand it in the moment, but after probably it's been an hour, 2 hours since the pick, it makes sense. You have Jonathan Hankins and Osa Odigizua. I think he's going to be playing nose tackle. I think he's going to take over for Jonathan Hankins, who's signed in free agency. He's definitely a run stuffer, so I understand why you want him at nose. But I think it's a good value pick. You get a nose stuffer. Kalijah Kancey, Brian Brzee was still on the board, but Brian Brzee is more of a pass rusher. You need that run stuffer, and I think that Mozzie Smith is going to be the best run stuffer you could have gotten. Siaki Ika is definitely not a first round pick. Mozzie Smith, I did have someone, I believe. I had the Bengals going Mozzie Smith at 28, so you get him 2 picks earlier than I thought, and also you get that nose tackle run stuffer that you desperately needed. Good pick out of them. I just didn't expect it. Then Anton Harrison. I didn't expect this pick in the moment, but again, they need a right tackle. They got Cam Robinson still at left tackle. They signed to a contract. You lost Juwan Taylor at right tackle. You needed one. You got him. Anton Harrison's definitely better than Walker Little, which would have been your right tackle if you would have not drafted Anton Harrison. So you grab Anton to be your right tackle. I just think there's other positions. You need a corner. Sure, you can get a corner in the second and third round, but you cut Shaq Griffin. You really only have Trey Herndon and Tyson Campbell. Safety, do you really want Rashawn Jenkins still? But Brian Branch didn't even go in the first round. Brian Branch was a top 10 talent overall, and he didn't go in the first round. That's how undervalued safety is in today's NFL. But grabbing Anton Harrison, solidify your offensive line, I understand it. I guess I can agree with it. Then what I thought was a really great value pick, they go Myles Murphy, the Cincinnati Bengals at 28. The Cincinnati Bengals are about to do a major overhaul of their defense. I've been saying it for a year or two now. They're going to keep T. Higgins. They're going to keep Jamar Chase. And they're going to keep Joe Burrow. Guess who's going to be gone then? Their entire defensive line. Trey Hendrickson's on a big contract. DJ Reader's on a big contract. Sam Hubbard's on a contract. BJ Hill's on a contract. They're all gone after this season. There's no way that they're going to be able to keep their team how it is constructed. Big contract, solid contract, big contract. Those 4 guys are gone after this season. So you got to invest in the future. So Myles Murphy is going to be an outside pass rusher, probably take over for Sam Hubbard, but he has versatility to kick inside a D tackle. So he has high versatility. And I think they're going to go another pass rusher in the second round. I would not be surprised if they somehow trade up maybe for Felix Anudike-Uzomah went. Maybe for a I'm trying to think. Adebaware from Northwestern, Andre Carter from Army. Like, they're going to trade up for another pass rusher, and I'm not going to be shocked when it happens. Then the Saints go a pretty solid pick, Bryan Bresee. I thought they were going to go linebacker. I want to see what their D-line's looking like. As you can see, thought they were going to go a linebacker and Jack Campbell and prepare for Demario Davis' exit of the NFL. But they decided to go D-tackle. Probably going to take over for Nathan Shepard. They just signed Kalen Saunders in free agency. They got Carl Granderson and Peyton Turner and Cam Jordan. I think he's going to take over for Nathan Shepard, which I don't disagree with. Bryan Bresee is a great pass rushing D tackle, solid run stuffer. He's probably going to be playing opposite of Kalen Saunders and take over for Nathan Shepard. Really good investment in the D tackle room. Since they run that 4-3, they can have both a run stuffer and a pass blocker in at the same time. I think he's going to play the role of a pass blocking DT. But Bryan Bresee was a guy that was being mocked in the top 15 picks. And just because everyone else was playing so well and rose their own draft stock, someone had to drop down. And he's one of those guys that dropped down because of draft value. Then, at number 30, like I said, the Philadelphia Eagles, they grab as many Georgia defensive guys as they can. They grabbed Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis last year, Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter this year. That is a stacked defense for the future. They're gonna have a great defense for the next 5 or 8 years. I hate them. The Eagles are making me hate them because I can't believe that they got everyone that they wanted. They had the most perfect defensive draft in this year's class. Like they had the best draft. They did. They got Jalen Carter at 9, Nolan Smith at 30. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. Then at 31, the Kansas City Chiefs. I thought they were gonna go DeJuan Jones and finish off their offensive line, but instead they go a pass rusher and Felix Anudike-Uzomah. I'm really high on Felix. FAU out of Kansas State. I was saying that the entire draft. FAU out of Kansas State was a great prospect. You got George Karlaftis. You got Charles Omenihu. Now you add in FAU in that 4-3 scheme. He'll be that third primary pass rusher. That's good. They have a good defense right now, and they can continue to build that good defense. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a corner get taken. I think they're good at safety for the most part. I think another corner makes sense. I think a D tackle makes sense. Maybe a Siaki Ika. That could be a really good draft pick. A Keanu Benton, a Byron Young. I think they will go offensive line. I mean, they got to get a right tackle. You can't have Lucas Niang as your only right tackle in this class. But yeah, that's my reaction to all the picks. Once the NFL draft is officially done, I'll be doing divisional draft grades. I won't be doing individual teams. I'll be doing divisional draft grades, kind of like how I do divisional mock drafts. So if you guys do want to stay tuned for that, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification button when I go live tomorrow. I am going live for the NFL draft. Let me see what time it starts. What time does day 2 of the draft starts? 7 p.m. So I'll be going live at 6 p.m. tomorrow night for the day 2 of the NFL draft. So if you want to come in and join and watch me react to day 2, I'd love it. Thank you guys for watching. Again, please consider subscribing. Consider coming to the stream tomorrow. I'll see you guys later.